History Uncovered presents The Ottoman Odyssey, Wars, Triumphs, and the Long Decline. Welcome to History Uncovered. Today we embark on an in-depth exploration of the Ottoman Empire, a vast and complex realm that rose from a small principality to a multi-continental empire, waged epic wars, and ultimately succumbed to internal strife and external pressures. Join us as we trace the rise, conquests, and eventual decline of an empire that shaped centuries of history. Our story begins in the late 13th century with Osman I, c. 1258-1326, the visionary leader whose name would eventually become synonymous with the empire. Osman laid the groundwork for a future power by uniting Turkish tribes in northwestern Anatolia. In the early years, his campaigns were marked by rapid raids and skirmishes against the declining Byzantine territories, establishing the foothold necessary for future expansion. Orhan, 1326-1362, Osman's son, built on his father's achievements by turning these early conquests into a structured state. Orhan's forces captured key towns such as Bursa, which later served as the empire's first major capital. Under his leadership, the Ottomans began systematic military campaigns that brought much of northwestern Anatolia under control. These successes not only secured trade routes, but also provided the economic foundation for further expansion. The empire's military prowess truly came to the fore under Murad I, 1362-1389. Murad I spearheaded campaigns in the Balkans, where he decisively defeated rival forces at the Battle of Kosovo in 1389, a confrontation that not only expanded Ottoman territory in southeastern Europe, but also laid the groundwork for future incursions into the heart of the Balkans. He also established the Janissaries, an elite infantry corps recruited through the Dev-Shirmi system, which became a cornerstone of Ottoman military might. Bayezid I, 1389-1402, known as the Thunderbolt, continued these aggressive expansions. He consolidated Ottoman power in Anatolia and the Balkans with swift military actions. However, Bayezid's ambitions met a catastrophic setback at the hands of Timur Tamerlane in the Battle of Ankara in 1402. This crushing defeat plunged the empire into a period of fragmentation known as the Ottoman Interregnum, where rival claimants fought bitterly for control. Out of this chaos emerged Mehmed I, 1413-1421, who managed to reunite the fractured state. His reign set the stage for a period of revival and expansion. Under Murad II, 1421-1451, the empire not only stabilized but also resumed its expansion into the Balkans and Anatolia, overcoming internal revolts and external threats with renewed vigor. A defining moment in Ottoman history came with Mehmed II, 1451-1481, famously known as the Conqueror. His siege and eventual capture of Constantinople in 1453 is one of history's most celebrated military achievements. The fall of Constantinople not only ended the Byzantine Empire, but also opened a new chapter for the Ottomans, who transformed the city into a thriving imperial capital. Mehmed II's campaigns extended into the Aegean, the Black Sea, and even parts of Italy, laying the foundation for a vast empire that spanned continents. Bayezid II, 1481-1512, inherited a strong empire and maintained its integrity through a blend of military caution and diplomatic finesse. His reign saw conflicts with rival states in Eastern Europe and the Mediterranean. Yet he preserved the gains of his predecessors and prepared the state for further expansion. The next turning point came with Selim Yunus, 1512-1520, whose reign was defined by dramatic and far-reaching conquests. Selim I waged victorious wars against the Mamluks, decisively defeating them at battles such as Marj-Dabik in 1516 and Yunus Khan in 1517. His victories brought Egypt, the Levant, and the holy cities of Islam under Ottoman control, transforming the empire's identity from a regional power to a transcontinental force with deep religious significance. No discussion of Ottoman military glory would be complete without Suleiman the Magnificent, 1520-1566. Suleiman's reign represented the zenith of Ottoman power. In a series of grand campaigns, he subdued territories in Eastern Europe, the Mediterranean, and North Africa. The Siege of Vienna in 1529, although ultimately unsuccessful, marked a bold attempt to expand into Central Europe. His long reign also saw brutal conflicts with the Safavid Empire in Persia, notably the protracted Ottoman-Safavid Wars that underscored the empire's vast and diverse frontiers. Suleiman's legislative reforms and patronage of the arts further cemented his legacy as a ruler who balanced military might with cultural achievement. After Suleiman, the empire continued to wage wars with varying degrees of success under Selim II, 1566-1574, Murad III, 1574-1595, and Mehmed III, 1595-1603. Although these sultans managed to defend the empire's vast territories, their reigns were increasingly marked by internal corruption, bureaucratic inefficiency, and the growing strain of managing an overextended state. The 17th century brought new challenges and significant military setbacks. Under Ahmed I, 1603-1617, and the tumultuous reigns of Mustafa I, 1617, 1618, 1622, 1623, and Osman II, 1618-1622, the empire experienced several military defeats and internal uprisings. The reigns of Murad IV, 1623-1640, and Ibrahim, 1640-1648, were characterized by attempts to restore order through harsh measures. Murad IV, in particular, is remembered for his strict discipline and successful military campaigns to reclaim lost territories. Yet his efforts could only delay the inevitable stagnation that would set in during later years. In the latter half of the 17th century, Mehmed IV, 1648-1687, presided over an era of both military ambition and catastrophic setbacks. The failure of the Ottoman forces at the Battle of Vienna in 1683, where a massive coalition of European armies repelled the Ottoman advance, marked a turning point. This defeat signaled not only the halting of Ottoman expansion into Central Europe, but also exposed vulnerabilities that would plague the empire for centuries. Successors such as Suleiman II, 1687-1691, and Ahmed II, 1691-1695, attempted to rally the empire's forces, but mounting internal dissent and the relentless pressure of European rivals eroded the once formidable military machine. The 18th century saw further decline under Mustafa III, 1757-1774, and Abdülhamid I, 1774-1789, whose reigns were marked by territorial losses and the rising tide of nationalism among subject peoples. A brief period of modernization was attempted under Selim III, 1789-1807, who introduced sweeping reforms to modernize the military and administrative structures. His efforts, however, faced fierce opposition from conservative elements within the state, leading to his eventual deposition. The subsequent brief reign of Mustafa IV, 1807-1808, did little to arrest the downward spiral. The transformative rule of Mahmud II, 1808 or 1839, brought significant, albeit turbulent, reforms aimed at centralizing power and modernizing the Ottoman state. His abolition of the janissaries, reform of the army, and restructuring of administrative institutions provided a brief glimpse of hope for renewal. However, these changes were insufficient to reverse the long-term decline. The 19th century was a period of gradual disintegration. Under Abdülmecid between 1839-1861 and Abdulaziz, 1861-1876, the empire faced mounting financial woes, nationalist uprisings, and the relentless encroachment of European imperial ambitions. The brief reign of Murad V, 1876, was quickly overshadowed by the long and controversial rule of Abdülhamid II, 1876-1909. Known for his autocratic style and efforts to centralize power, Abdülhamid II presided over a period of modernization that was undermined by corruption, censorship, and the alienation of many ethnic groups within the empire. In the final chapter of its history, Mehmed IV, 1909-1918, and Mehmed II, 1918-1922, witnessed the catastrophic impact of World War I. The Ottoman Empire, already weakened by decades of internal strife and external pressures, found itself on the losing side of a global conflict. Nationalist movements among its diverse peoples and the harsh terms imposed by the Treaty of Sèvres ultimately led to the dissolution of the empire. In 1922, the Sultanate was abolished, paving the way for the birth of modern Turkey under the visionary leadership of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. The story of the Ottoman Empire is one of incredible military triumphs and dramatic defeats, a saga of brilliant conquests, cultural splendor, and inexorable decline. Its rise was fueled by visionary leaders and cutting-edge military innovations, while its fall was hastened by internal decay, outdated institutions, and the relentless advance of modern European powers. Thank you for joining us on this comprehensive journey through the Ottoman Odyssey. From its meteoric rise through epic wars to its gradual decline and eventual end. Stay tuned to History Uncovered as we continue to explore the events and personalities that have shaped our world.